Right then, this is a quick walk around video for an absolutely gorgeous looking car. This is a Lexus IS300 Luxury, obviously hybrid car, finished in this beautiful kind of platinum silver. Looks stunning on the car. These are such handsome looking vehicles. This particular one's done 71,000 miles. A lovely service history attached to the car, and it's been kept absolutely beautifully. Front of the car is in beautiful condition, lights and lenses, no cracks, no condensation, but just such an intricate, interesting design as well. Bonnet, can't see a stone chip of any note on there at all. And to come down the near side, passenger side, it's absolutely smooth in the panels, really is. As I said, it's just, when you compare it to its main competitors, it's just got so much more interesting design features on it. Near side front alloy, really good. Panel work, just wonderfully clean. Near side rear alloy, again, absolutely pristine. Oops, I fell over. Good start. Coming in the back, bump corners all very clean indeed. Now to the off side of the car, driver's side. Again, ridiculously clean. For a car that's now 9 years old, and it's been kept wonderfully well. Offside rear alloy, again, beautiful condition. The remaining panel work is unblemished. I mean, a microscope will find something, I'm sure, but in all honesty, I don't think you're going to find a cleaner example anywhere. It's absolutely stunning. Coming to the boot area of the car. Again, big boots, beautifully finished, and again in really lovely condition. Just coming to the back of the car now. Again, it's just been kept wonderfully well. Half leather interior. Again, no marks, no skags. Carpeted area is all lovely. Just coming to the front and the passenger side. Door card lovely and clean. Likewise, footwell areas. And passenger seat there. Not being used very much at all. Coming to the front now on the driver's side, all the door cards are in lovely condition. Footwell area is again very clean. The driver's seat, the one that should show loads away, in reality shows virtually nothing. You get a slight compression there as your backside slides in and out, but that's absolutely normal, and that's far, far, far better than most of this vintage. So inside the car now, engine as always running for this section. So the dash, you can see it illuminated. Dashboard looks absolutely as new. It's a stunning interior. Sat nav, you can see working if I click on there. And I'll go onto that one. Working absolutely perfectly. Pop the car into reverse. You get a lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. But it's just such a gorgeous interior. And to come up to the dash binnacle for you. You can see there 71,727 miles, no warning lights, and that's the dash you get when you're in eco and normal mode. If I twist it to the right, and you get the rev counter magically appear in sport mode. It just looks absolutely fantastic. It really, really does. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key are both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Lexus IS300 Hybrid, and it's the luxury model. This particular car is registered LL63FNG, and mileage at the start of the car, road test rather, is 71,713. The reason we do all of our videos, and actually especially this road test section, is to ensure that if anyone's online, they actually get to see the car advertised in operation. The reason we feel it's important is very simple. We know to our cost, as so many people do, it can be incredibly frustrating to go and see a car which can look perfectly good in photographs and a description, but only to get there and find out it's got a fundamental issue you'd much rather known about before setting off. So hence that's why we do it. Also done on these very quiet country roads very close to our premises, and this actually forms part of the road test route we take our customers on, and
the rationale behind that is because we hope it'll then be representative of what you would have felt yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car, lovely vehicle, been beautifully looked after. All of its servicing been done, apart from the very last one by the Lexus main dealers. It's been very well maintained, and it feels it straight away. It is as tight as a drum. It really, really is. It's been beautifully, beautifully looked after, this car. Press the power button, start the car up, start silently, of course. There's starts motor as such on the car. This utilises what Lexus these days refer to as the self-charging hybrid system. A very good reason they choose those words, of course, is that there's no range anxiety with these cars. You literally just put petrol in the car. I'm going to have to go back a second, sorry. You just put petrol in the car in the normal way, run low on fuel, put more in, top it up and go again. It's as simple as that. The battery is charged by the car whenever you hit the brakes, back off the throttle, that kind of thing. And it can't run out, so it's not something that's going to affect your driving in any way. It's just there to assist with the drive of the car, give you extra power. It's just brilliant in the way it operates. It's, I say it, it is borderline witchcraft the way it can interact. You hardly feel it kicking in and out. You can feel it when it's stationary. You can hear it kicking in and you can hear it more so then than when you're on the move. But when you're driving along, it's amazing. And if you've never driven a Lexus hybrid in particular, you'll be astonished. It really, I say in the advert, it's not hyperbole, it is genuinely the case. It makes other cars in its class, conventional petrol or diesel automatics, feel very kind of clumsy and old-fashioned, because it works in conjunction with the automatic gearbox, which is a CVT gearbox, so it's constantly variable transmission, and it means that at low speeds in particular, you'll probably be in electric mode, and it just is so serene and smooth. It's amazing. They're brilliant on all types of roads, but in particular that people do lots of stop-start traffic, town work, they adore these cars, and for very good reason. They're just effortless, absolutely effortless. What's nice is also you get a little dial down here. It gives you 3 settings for the engine. And you basically, when you start the car, it starts off in what they call normal mode, so it's a mid-range one. Then you can twist to the left, and I'm now in eco mode, so it's much more economical. Put my foot down, the throttle response isn't as urgent. It definitely feels, not as quick in this mode. And in those 2 modes, the dash in front is blue, kind of backgrounds to it. You've got a large, what they call power meter, eco meter, telling you, when it's using battery, when it's putting charge back into the battery, that kind of stuff. Or I can twist it to the right. My dashboard has now changed. It's got more of a kind of a red background to it. You've got an old-fashioned rev counter, and the throttle response and audio it feels completely different. It's very lively, where in all honesty I spend most of my time when I've had them. I love it in this setting. But it's really nice, it's interesting to use, it's practical, it's worthwhile, which is the most important part of it. You also have a little EV button mode, so to go into electric only mode for a short period of time. I once watched a video, and I'm not going to name any names, and it absolutely made my blood boil, because they said it was the most pointless button. It's not a true electric mode. No, it isn't. Not meant to be. It literally isn't. It is there. I think it's one of the world's most polite buttons. Effectively, it's used for short periods of time, and the obvious times are, let's say you're getting up early in the morning to fly off somewhere or go to work on a shift. You lived in a busy street and you didn't want the car to be revving its head off, going down the engine, waking everyone up. So you can select EV mode. You can make it do it, so even if it didn't want to, it will do it. It's brilliant. And yet they scoffed at that. They said, it's not in a true electric mode. But there again, they'd already scoffed at the fact that you had a CD player in the car, and they thought that was way too quaint for I think anyone above 30 or 40 years old. When you get to my age, I've still got CDs, and I think it's to their credit they still incorporate them, but that's by the by. But it's a brilliant powertrain, absolutely brilliant. No warning lights on the dashboard at all. relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Gearbox is just silky smooth, so nice to use. And yes, with a CVT, if you in extremes shove your foot down, it's not loud, it's not unpleasant, but if you do it for a prolonged period of time, it'll stay up at those revs. It's not designed to do that. Most people drive, as I've been doing up to now, nice and smoothly, and it's the nicest companion you'll sit behind of any gearbox. It's brilliant. So come to the steering of the vehicle, really nicely done. Obviously being rear wheel drive helps because it means you're not got the front wheels polluted by drive shafts. It's just perfectly weighted, accurate, precise. It's a lovely power steering setup. It also tracks absolutely dead straight. I'm at the legal limit now and there's no wheel wobble or vibrations at all. Perfect. Suspension of the car is lovely. Again, it's no rattles, no creaks, nothing from under the car at all to suggest it's done any miles. It's incredibly tight, as I said. But what it gives you is a beautifully judged ride. I sell predominantly F-Sport models of these cars. And on certain surfaces they can be firm because it is a sportier version. This, I think, actually, I prefer it. I dare say I'm going to whisper it because I think it's absolutely spot on. It's firm enough to allow very flat cornering, not dissimilar to the F-Sport in that sense, but the sharper ridges on the road it dismisses. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I'm just going to give the brakes a good old shove, make sure no one's directly behind me. I know they're good, but I could have checked them earlier, but really powerful brakes on the car. Nice and powerful, no pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the brake pedals, all spot on. And then finally to come inside. If you want to know what build quality is, come and sit in one of these. Build quality, I say on loads of videos, isn't squidgy plastics, nice stitching, how it looks. It's how they put everything together. This has got lots of squidgy, nice looking plastics and lots of nice stitching. It is beautifully crafted. I mean, it is a gorgeous interior in terms of the way it's laid out, the sort of piano black and surfacing, a lovely Lexus analog clock there which illuminates fluorescent when it's dark. It looks stunning and really stylish, but it works fantastically well. But it is so well built, no squeaks, no rattles, doesn't feel like it's going to have any either. It's just amazingly well built. Sat nav with a rear parking camera built into it, up nice and high so you can see it easily. You got a mouse pad or a little sort of mouse type thing down here to control it, which actually is very easy to use. I doubted them when I first drove one with a car with them in, but I've now got used to it. Everything else beautifully detailed, all switch gear, that's a very finest quality. You got a climate control system which gives you different temperatures side to side and these lovely sliders. That pumps out lovely cold air, by the way, we checked that earlier. And then this fantastic dash binnacle in front, which I said you can alter the display with the different engine modes, but it's the tiny details which are so satisfying, I have to say. Stunning. Steering wheel, leather bound, perfect diameter, perfect rim width, everything absolutely lovely on it, and absolutely unmarked as well. I mean, it's in stunning condition in here, absolutely beautiful condition for a car that's coming up to 9 years old. It's ludicrous how well it's been kept, in all honesty, and a testament to its last owner in particular. As I said at the start of the video, it's only brief. It's just to show the car in operation. I love these cars, so I've got a natural bias towards them, so it's hard not to be enthusiastic. But the reality is, this isn't about being enthusiastic, it's about letting you know of any issues there might be with the car, of which there's nothing at all. It drives just astonishingly well, it really does. Whoever gets the car next is going to be a very, very lucky person indeed.